my family. Nikki Giovanni calls it gazing at the navel, picking the lint out of the navel. So my family, they run away from me like this, you know, when I come home for gatherings. So yeah. This poem is something that I also am kind of obsessed with. It's my Native American heritage, and this poem actually happened at a powwow. It's called Scar Stories. For Loretta, Vincent, Lil Bit, and all the other angels who give care. Not once did Loretta cry as she talked, spirited us away from Monic and powwow, busted tired next to me in back seat, my knees crushed flowers against her seat, a calm water man to her side, his gray glinting in locks where the sun landed. As she drove, story after story flooded from her out on the hot day, father dead at 9, onto watchful maple trees, mother dead at 16. From her unheld hands, a chronic backache. One woman I know doesn't even want her children, she said. Child after child abandoned, saved, then abandoned again. Which one was she, I wondered. Closing my eyes against her light sound, shutting out the piercing sun and heat, imprinting my papyrus eyelids with demands older than the cloud-brush Virginia mountains that cradled us. What does it mean to be worthy of someone's scar stories? When they unveil the entire labyrinth of their life's terror in your lap, do you give it back with cluck of teeth and sigh, folded in buckskin for next season? Where do you put a stranger's unforgiven childhood? A chalice of loss and unbathed feet carried like bounty into adulthood. Into a car, one suffocating summer day, where the smell of ruined rubber, rust, and singed heart forged a pack you pretended not to see. But back at the powwow, I held her hand, rubbed her back. She drove off in a haze of rising dust, still talking. And I knew then that someone needed a tire to go flat. Sometimes strangers needed other strangers to hear them, to be worthy, ready, whether we were ready or not. The next time someone shows you a scar, don't crush them with silence as if they've given too much too fast. Forget you've driven 3 hours. Forget cigarette smoke in your locks and tired feet, headache, blown out tire. Forget Vietnamese monk whose book you planned to read on mountaintop that day while the drum sounded in the distance. Strain of vocation at last away from people who didn't pray like you. When you see it, a bruise or welt, blister or cut, have the courtesy to halt the world from spinning. Stop, touch them somewhere, anywhere, and say, oh my God.